Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, I, Shivansh Bansal, co-founder at Law Community, is here with another amazing personality. She is advocate on record in Supreme Court of India and she is managing partner at Pratap and Company. She has done MBA in finance and marketing from abroad. Her name is Pallavi Pratap. We are here to know more about her journey and learn from her. So, my first question is what factors influenced you to choose law as a career? And share about your law school experience.
Okay, so the factors, so I don't know if you know this or not, but I used to be an investment banker before I basically became a lawyer. I'd done my MBA in finance and marketing from Australia from La Trobe University in Melbourne. And I did my research from ESC Dijon in France. And then I was basically into the MBA mode. I'd done my law while I was preparing for civil services from Lucknow University, and so primarily, it's not like your typical law school that you have. At least in my times, it was not so much. It was a new campus, and we would basically be going for the classes, and not much would happen like a typical law school would have. So so I don't know too many experiences like you guys have about moot and things like that. I actually did not have those experiences. So I was an investment banker. Because of some personal reasons I had to quit the corporate life because it was becoming too heavy. There was a lot of travel and a lot of pressure also. So and I some personal things were going on, so I took a break, a sabbatical of sorts from corporate world. And at that point in time, since I was a lawyer and I had just enrolled with the bar, I thought it is to basically explore how it was to work in the legal sector. So I thought that I should maybe look at the corporate side of it, or should I be looking at the litigation part of it. I got an opportunity around the initial time when I was supposed to join. I got myself on a panel for state of UP, and that's how it began. So I started to work with an AOR, and this just started, and it was something that I not really planned for. As a matter of fact, litigation always scared me, and I never thought that being a lawyer would be something that is going to be. Uh, uh, I was never enthusiastic. As a matter of fact, I was very scared, to be a lawyer and that to be a litigating lawyer. Coming from a corporate background, it was completely different. So when I started, slowly I kind of developed the interest in the subject, and Supreme Court was a wonderful place to start my career with. Touchwood, I think that's been God's grace. I met some very wonderful people who guided me, and therefore litigation and becoming a litigating lawyer looked like a natural extension of something that I always do. It looked like that's something that I felt very comfortable with. So yeah, so that's how the entire litigating journey started.
So, my next question is what is the driving force that has led you to work courageously over the years?
So the driving force has always been, I think, you know, representing matters. I mean, the kind of rush that you get, when you're arguing your matter, or you get a good order from the court, that kind of a rush is really, it's something that you always look forward to. And interacting with clients is interesting. Watching the judges and the senior advocates, the way they uh, do their submissions, and how the judges actually look at each and every submission, I think that's very fulfilling. But on a personal level, I always wanted to open up my own law firm, and that's something that I did. It's going on well, God's grace. It's been very nice. And there are certain milestones that I have for every 6 months, for every month, for every year, which because of those goalposts, um, I feel every day when I wake up, those goalposts actually make me push myself and then I'm like trying to do a better job at it. Yes.
So, law has changed from being traditional to non conventional over the years, which has led to remarkable judgments, like in case of decriminalization of 377 or adultery, and many more. What do you think has led to such a change?
I think the society has changed a lot, and law is definitely a reflection of the society. I mean, how the society functions and how the society becomes acceptable of certain things. That reflects also in our judgments, because the judges also come from the same sphere. They are also part of the society as much as maybe a person who is who belongs to LGBTQ. They are all just part of the society. They are the judges are also part of the society, and the acceptability sort of increases over a period of time. We realize that there has been so much Western influence in terms of jurisprudence that we see that reflects in our judgment also. I mean, if you look at 377 judgment, or even if you look at the adultery judgment, you will see that so much of it is also inspired from what is happening in the West. And as a society, since we are moving forward, we are becoming acceptable to these changes which are happening. And that is primarily where we see that our judgments also make that shift. Be it Aadhaar, for example, the technology has changed, but with the technology there has been so many question marks which have been raised. And because all of that is happening in Aadhaar, we see that the arguments were made for and against the entire provisioning of Aadhaar. So this is how we've been seeing that judgments every single day are changing, and they are more reflective of what is happening in the society. And it is the society's acceptability that gets then reflected into the judgments that are coming in.
So, is it possible that the legal field could become exhausted like the field of engineering any day?
Okay, that's a tricky question. I would not want to comment upon it, because I think there are innumerable cases which are available, and most of us are first generation lawyers who are trying to make up a mark. But yes, there are so many law schools which are there, and so many law students who are coming in. uh, we will all have a piece of the pie. All of us will have a share into litigation, but it is only going to become all the more harder for all of us to perform, to be competitive, to provide a competitive what do you call you know um, expertise that needs to be shown, because a client will obviously have 15-20 options at the same price range in terms of fees. But who is it that he feels more comfortable with? Who is it that he wants to trust? Who he thinks has got more integrity? I think that's going to bring about a lot of difference. So I feel that there is enough for all of us. Uh, but I think the survival will always be of the fittest.
So, how do you balance your multifaceted professional life being an advocate and partner at Pratap and Company?
I have no other life, believe me. I have no other life except for doing what I do. And I love it, believe me. I absolutely love every single second of it. Um, because this is not this is not work for me. It is just a natural extension of me, and that's why it doesn't feel like work. Definitely, it has a lot of stress, a lot of pressure every single day. Sometimes you just feel, my goodness, how am I going to deal with the day? But because sometimes when you feel very passionately about something, you don't feel that thing to be work. Like, for example, if there is a particular course, particular subject that you really like, um, so when you're reading it and when you're preparing for that examination, you will not feel that you are basically forcing yourself into studying something, because you just love it. You're just passionate about that subject. Maybe it could be criminal jurisprudence, or it could be any part of civil jurisprudence, anything for that matters. और जब हम छोटे हुआ करते थे, तो also then, you had a favorite subject. So maybe mine was history. I used to love history. So history never felt like, that I have to put in work. कुछ लोगों के लिए मैथ्स होता होगा, कुछ लोगों के लिए ज्योग्राफी होता होगा. So like that. So this basically doesn't feel like work. It feels like, a natural extension. I just get up in the morning and I just know exactly what I have to do through the day. And it just naturally progresses towards finishing off the to-do list. So it's just very natural.
What is that trait in lawyer which connects him or her to their clients?
To their clients, I think integrity, definitely integrity, because I feel the clients are always looking for integrity and trustworthiness in their lawyer. Of course, they need to have knowledge of the subject that is there, but integrity and trust is always something that they definitely look forward to, because they want to be sure, they want to be comfortable that, if if there is a case which has come, which they want a lawyer to fight. How is it that they're going to have, that much confidence if the lawyer himself doesn't display that in their natural manner in which that they are exhibiting it.
What advice or some suggestion you would like to give to the people who have just started their career in law or law students who are still studying?
Okay, so for people who've just passed their law and they are going to go into active practice, if they are choosing litigation, then I suggest that don't quit, not before 3 years. Don't expect that things are going to change miraculously and that some kind of a magic wand will be there, which will be done like this and everything will work out for you. It doesn't happen like that. It's very difficult, but never quit. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep improvising every single day, because that's how work will start getting generated. For law students, I feel that, just keep your mind open in terms of, keep your mind open, not just because uh, you have to identify which field you want to go into. I mean, if somebody wants to go into corporate law, or if somebody wants to go into the GC mode, then then they have to decide for themselves. They have to see if litigation is something that sparks joy in them, and if it is something that does not sparks joy in them, then they should not be forcing themselves to show to the world that no, I am going to be a litigating lawyer. I think knowing your passion is very, very important before commencing your journey into this field.
How can an organization like Law Community prove beneficial to legal fraternity? And what new avenues are expected from legal professionals?
I think what you're doing is a fabulous job. I mean, not just bringing thoughts of, industry leaders, but also the fact that you guys are taking out time and doing something like this is huge, because not everybody is trying to make sure that the right questions are asked, or the right you know thought process is then scaled up. Because as of now, what's happening, especially I feel because of the COVID time, what I have realized is that everybody, especially the young law students, are very confused. And because they are confused and they are scared and they don't really know what's going to happen next, so all of that confusion, I feel your platform is definitely trying to do away with that, or at least provide them some kind of a comfort where they know that, they are safe, they are protected. This is what is happening. This is happening to everybody, and that, they can kind of accept it. Now, for future, I suggest that you should conduct more of these sessions. I think everybody wants to hear what is happening. See, we all are in the same boat. Now, if this boat is going to sink or it's going to sail through is something that only time will tell, because all of us are exposed to, let's say, COVID, or the virus and everything. So it's something that is, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen next. And in that time period, which is there, where you are basically waiting uh, to see yourself through, this is the time that you can actually utilize to uh, learn new things. And I think law community is basically doing that very well. You have to ensure that law students and young lawyers can get to know about different facets upon which they can work. And that, I think, is a brilliant job that all of you are doing. So I think that's going to bring that breather to the young lawyers and law students. I feel that.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having such an amazing interaction with us. It will definitely going to benefit a lot of young-minded people, and we are delighted to have time with you. And law community is grateful for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful day and a brilliant year ahead. Stay safe and take care of yourself.